Hello everyone, my name is PolishLynx. This is Everlasting Summer. One of Semyon's endings. Let's see what will happen here. Whoa, dreams can be really something. Not quite a nightmare, definitely not something pleasant. I got up, rubbed my face and get back to reality. Gave a loud yawn and prepared to clean myself up. It was a really grey morning. Unable to find my hygiene kit on the nightstand, I concluded I could manage without it. It was hard to get dressed, my hands were trembling like hell. I looked at my reflection in the mirror and checked out my 2-week stubble. Well, perhaps Olga Dmitrievna has a razor. It was only when I went outside that I suddenly understood that I'm not in a pioneer camp. I'm back in my apartment. And I've just come out of my room in the passageway, not out of the cabin. I was overwhelmed with surprise, with dismay, with fear, even with terror. But how? I sat down on the bed and buried my face in my hands, trying to remember the chain of yesterday's events. Yeah, the last day of the term. Yeah, I fell asleep. And woke up back home. Well, to some degree, it might even seem quite logical. It seemed that the initial astonishment has worn off during the first few seconds. After all, the fact that I came back like this after a week-long absence is no stranger than my sudden appearance at some pioneer camp of the 80s in the first place. The events of the last 2 days flashed before my eyes in an instant. The mysterious pioneer in his words. But how did I manage to get back to reality then? According to him, I was going to be stuck there forever, as there is no exit. On the other hand, I wasn't alone. That pioneer at the bus stop and the mystery voice emphasized the contrary, that the exit exists. Does that mean I found it? I managed to get out of the endless loop. But how? Nevertheless, I wasn't sure whether I should rejoice or grieve. Over the last week, I'd kind of gotten used to the everlasting inner monologue, the search for answers and the in-depth analysis of everything, so I simply couldn't accept this fact as it was, without figuring out what exactly happened to me. Sure, he told me that I'm the only one who has observed the existence of other guys like me during their very first loop, but does that mean anything? Anyway, all his theories and ideas instantly collapsed like a house of cards. Now I had to decide how I should react. Of course, I should rejoice. After all, I'm back to the real world. Maybe the last 7 days were just a dream. Indeed, there's absolutely no evidence that I really was there. I don't see my pioneer uniform anywhere. I look my age, just like I did before. My phone is on the table fully charged. But one can't deceive one's own memory. One can't live through such terrifically real experiences in a dream. I still remember the events of the whole week in great deal. Perhaps I was in coma all this time? An ironic laugh escaped my lips. That's not an option either. Then, all is well that ends well. The last few hours in the camp flashed through my mind. Indeed, I wasn't hoping to get out, either from that camp or from that reality, and I was pretty much ready to another week. And another one. I'd accepted my role. I'd reconciled with my destiny. And what was I supposed to do after all that stuff that happened? I heaved a doomed sigh, got up from my bed with considerable effort and went to my computer. That's weird, but according to it, it's only 14 hours have passed since my disappearance from this world, not a whole week. A new message in the instant messenger. Hi Semyon, yesterday. It was legendary. See you later! My college friend. It was him who invited me to that party with the rest of his college friends that I was going to attend. Suddenly all my senses came back to me. The headache, the dizziness, all the symptoms of hangover. It looks like I indeed attended the party yesterday, and I was partying hard, so there was no pioneer camp. But then, where did all these memories, emotions and feelings come from? All of this was incomprehensible that I became enraged. I began cursing fully, trying to tear my hair out and hammering on the keyboard with my fists. I didn't return to a normal state until there were no keys left on it. Why should I care so much? Nobody worries when a dream or a hallucination ends. Moreover, people are usually glad that it happens. Was I really that prepared to stay there that my return to reality became so undesirable for me? And then a simple and obvious thought crossed my mind. Perhaps I'm just going insane. Indeed, madmen frequently have visions which they perceive as reality. Besides, I had all the symptoms of insanity. I never left the four walls of my prison. I never socialized. I have lots of psychological problems. Well, that explains a lot. My dark, nervous laughter echoed in the room. Guess it's the right time for me to visit a therapist, or rather a psychiatrist, or should I just surrender myself at the asylum? A horse, half my kingdom for a horse. I cried at the top of my lungs between bouts of my maniac laughter. Dispute not with her, she's a lunatic. The racket my neighbors made on the wall calmed me down somehow. If I'm tripping that bad, it looks like only a lobotomy could help me. I just sat completely freaked out for several hours, doing nothing, thinking nothing, just staring at the monitor, long since gone into sleep mode. Finally moved the mouse and opened a few tabs in the browser. So what's new? F5, F5. As if the events of the past week had never happened. Come on, we have to grieve for a hallucination. Was it real? Sure. Lots of memories. Sure. Looks true enough? By all means, yes. Any proof? Nope. The verdict is clear, as my future curse. I have long suspected that my current lifestyle wasn't doing me any good. I wasn't ready for such an unusual event, but so what? I have to be more prepared for my next trip. Night. An endless stream of threads and images took my mind off my lamentations and considerations. An instant message window popped up most unexpectedly. Hi, how are you doing? Sure, quite an original way to start a conversation. Doing fine. The contact's profile was completely empty, not even a nickname, just a 9-digit number. You can't guess what kind of person is on the other end by just looking at the number, can you? Sure, someday it will be all different. Unified digital identifiers, instead of names, a couple of symbols for a biography, several bytes of personality and 3.5 bits of feelings. Get home safely? Probably someone from yesterday's party. Seems like it. You do remember everything I told you yesterday, right? Well, I guess not. There was yet another message after a long pause. I see. Honestly, I don't give a damn who this is and why he's messaging me, until this unidentified individual starts harassing me and could easily tolerate his presence in my contact list. Well, that's okay, we'll meet again. We surely will. Sure, looking forward to it, yeah. Alright. Bye. I didn't reply. This odd screw-up day at last was slowly coming to an end. Going to bed, I yet again recalled in my head all the events that seemed so real for me. Where am I going to wake up tomorrow? Would these hallucinations return? Nah, I'd probably just forget everything. Strange, but now I'm really feeling that everything happening now is real. There was just a fiction, a game of deformed imagination, or really something fantastical. And here is reality. Sometimes inconvenient. Sometimes it unfolds differently from how you wish, surprises you like this, but it's still reality. I fell asleep with these thoughts. Bit by bit, my life resumed its normal course, and I started to forget the events of that week. After all, nothing bad happened. Even if it was indeed real, who cares? That were only 7 days in a pioneer camp. I wasn't killed, nobody kidnapped me to conduct experiments. I wasn't brainwashed, so why do I care now about the reason? And if it indeed was a hallucination, I could only hope that it won't repeat itself. I was still a shut-in. My computer and the internet were my only friends, and the keyboard was the only communication channel connecting me to the outside world. The F5 key became the main thing in my life again. Come to think of it, it really was not that bad. Yet one day a familiar combination of digits popped up on the screen. That strange contact of mine had come online once again. Hey! Hey! How are you doing? Doing fine. Probably I knew him from somewhere, but who cares anyway. Any news? Not really. Stability is a sign of true class? One might say so. Oh, I see. The conversation was over for me, but he didn't seem to feel like that. So, nothing has changed? Nope, should it have? Well, it's not like you experience stuff like that on a day-to-day basis. Not everybody gets to experience it either. What are you talking about? Don't you get it? I was starting to. I'd prefer you to explain. Don't you remember the camp? It felt like an electric shock. All the events of that week immediately sprang up my mind. My hands started to tremble, a cold sweat burst from my forehead. I turned around in horror, already imagining that I'd see aliens, ghosts or the Green Reaper, but there was nobody in my room except me, as always. I ran to the corridor, checked in the kitchen, in the bathroom, still nobody. At last, I returned to the computer. The same message window was flashing, still flashing steadily, as if it was a perfectly ordinary message. Who are you? My hands were trembling so much I could hardly hit the right keys. So you do remember it. My hallucination seemed to be continuing. Or did I never leave the camp in the first place? Or it's just a dream after all? Or... I don't know what to say. I admit sincerely. Anyhow, I felt that this entity, that's the only definition that I could think of, doesn't need any kind of internet to communicate with me. Well, you can just keep silent. Everything is perfectly clear. That smiley at the end of the line looked like a devil himself, stretching its deformed jaws open to devour me. What's happening to me? I finally made up my mind to ask the question. Nothing at all. You're just living your regular life. But the camp, was it real? And what do you think? I'm not sure. If it seemed real to you, then yeah, it was real. If not, then it wasn't. It's just that simple. It's not simple at all. What will happen to me next? I whispered. Nothing to worry about. It seems that it really hurt me without the use of the internet. Terror changed my whole body. I closed my eyes and curled myself into a ball. Wait, why are you doing this to me? I started to lose it. Words were coming out of my mouth by themselves. Illogical, meaningless sets of words. Why me? What for? Leave me alone, I haven't done anything bad. Several minutes after, I found the courage to open one eye and take a look at the monitor. You are the reason for everything. The message window was flickering coldly. And what's next? I will see that soon enough. Everything started fading to black in my eyes, noise filled my ears, and I started to feel dizzy. I felt that my very soul was escaping its physical shell. The events of the last few days became hazy, as if they'd all happened to me, someone older than me. Then the memories of the camp started to vanish, as if somebody was using an eraser to thoroughly rub out words written with a pencil. A month later, I felt and sensed nothing, as though I was plunged into a state of cosmic bliss. If anyone saw me at the moment, they would notice that I was smiling. Yeah, I'm kind of stuck here. I hit the report spam button, closed the window, switched to the browser and glanced at the clock. Time to get going or I'm gonna be late. Wait for what? Late for what? Forever alone. Don't know. Weird ending. I wonder what will happen in the bad end here. Bum, 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 bum. All the guys who saw us all these years, who kept waiting and believing, thank you and goodbye for now. Alright, it's not a goodbye from me, because we'll continue. We need to get a bad ending here also. And we're gonna follow the voice in the forest now. Okay, let's go. Anyway, he sounded more credible than the crazy pioneer. Of course, this solution could be fatal, but the alternative isn't any better. I just took a shot in the dark. Okay, so where are we going? We are already there! My eyesight started to fade and I felt my consciousness leaving me. And what's going to happen? Epic fail. What? That's all? Alright, is something happening or? Well, that was quick. So I will actually put that lovely ending in the previous video file and connect with that one, super short one. Didn't expect something like that. I don't know, should I record something? Should I start doing it today now? I leave it for tomorrow. Today is one day, alright. I completely didn't expect that nothing will actually happen. So maybe he really got a replay of the whole entering the camp and stuff. Alright, so I will tell you what will happen next. In the next we will start actually from the very beginning of the game and we'll go with one of the girls' road, but she was not previously seen in the roads, so don't worry, no replay of the whole story. Alright, hope you enjoyed Semyon and Lynx. However, the second one was kind of not ending. Alright, see you then, bye.